as you know, all of our stuff rolls up into Public Works, but I'm not here for that today.
Perfect. I will go ahead and rename you on my end so that I know which landline you are calling from. And then when we get started, I'll have the president have a public comment session, and I will call you up at that time. Okay, that sounds great. Thank you so much. Great. And you'll be given 2 minutes to speak on for public comment. To unmute and unmute your microphone, you would just press *6. And if by any chance, if you need to get my attention for anything, you can press *9 to raise your hand. Oh, okay. Thank you very much for letting me know. Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you, Michelle. We're going to go on to the next caller. We have 2 callers. Someone is calling in through a tablet 12122, tablet ID or smartphone device 12122. Can you please open up your video cam or microphone? Tablet 12122. Last call, tablet 12122. Can you please identify yourself? Okay, we'll come back to that caller in a few minutes. I'm going to move on to the next caller on the line. Where did they go? All right. They're no longer with us. So again, tablet 12122, smartphone device or tablet ID 12122. If you can please identify yourself. All right, getting no response from that tablet ID, we're going to go ahead and move on to identifying the presenters. Items 2 through 11. Ruben Flamenco, I see you on the line. Video cam's working, it looks good.
Yes.
Great. Thank you. Item number 12, Larry Hsu. Item number 12, Larry, you also have Manuel Perez that should be on the line. Should you have any questions? Manuel, I see him on there. I'm not sure if his video cam's on or not. But just in case, Larry, if you need him, he's on the line.
Excellent. Thank you.
Perfect. Item number 13, Alan Tran.
Yes, I'm here.
Alan, item number 13 will be subject to the mayor's approval due to cost containment.
Okay.
Item number 14, the same thing, Alan Tran. It'll be subject to the mayor's approval due to cost containment.
Okay.
No speaker or no presenter required on item number 14. Item number 16, David Kempton. Mr. Kempton, are you on the line? David Kempton? Okay, I'm sure he'll join us shortly. I anticipate about maybe 30, 40 minutes before we get to his item. And then item 17 will be kicked off by our director, Adele Khalil from the Bureau of Street Services, joining us with Greg Spott, Stephanie Clemens, and Keith Mose as well, around 2:30 in the afternoon for that one. Commissioner Davis, Dr. Davis, if you're on the line, can you please test your microphone for us, please, and your video cam?
Testing 3, 2, 1.
Great, we can hear you. Perfect. Is your video cam working?
See.
There you go. Perfect. I see you.
Okay, great.
Commissioner Garcia and Villegas, also the same thing. Can we test your video cam? Hi, Commissioner. Great. So I think at this point, we're just waiting for our president to join us so that we can start the meeting. It'll be about another 3 to 5 minutes at most. Thank you all for your patience. Caller ending in 403, Mr. Spindler. Caller ending in 403. Which item would you like to speak on today?
Well, tell them. Well, it depends. General public comment.
Okay.
What lighting districts?
Okay.
And maybe some other items.
Which lighting district would you like to speak on? We have 10 items on lighting districts.
Which ones would you? Well, they're all in CD6. Yes, they're all in the same Nuri's district, right? Well, that's correct. Yeah, so they're all for Nuri. So they're all really the same.
Okay, Mr. Spindler, I'll put you down for 2 through 7. 2 through 11, I'm sorry. Any other items would you like to speak on?
Any other items? Oh, okay. The puppet says that'll be taken as a no at the moment.
Okay, said no. Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and mute your microphone at this time. To mute and unmute your microphone, you would press *6, Mr. Spindler. Mr. President, we are ready to go when you are. We do have Commissioner Davis on the line. Let me just get him to open up his video cam. Dr. Davis, if you can open up your video cam.
Okay.
Perfect. Great. President, good. I can start the recording when you are ready.
Thank you, Dr. Campos. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this special meeting of the LA City Board of Public Works for Friday, November 20th, 2020. Good afternoon, Dr. Campos.
Good afternoon, Mr. President. Fernando Campos, Executive Officer. Establishing roll call and quorum for today, we have President Good, Vice President Garcia, President Pro Tem Davis, and Commissioner Villegas. President Good, you do have a quorum. For the record, we have President Good calling in remotely from his City Hall office, and we also have our Commissioners Villegas, Garcia, and Davis dialing in remotely from home. I myself, I am dialing in remotely from my City Hall office. We are also joined today by our General Counsel, Mr. Ted Jordan, dialing in remotely from home as well. Mr. President, at this time, we do have two callers on the line for general public comment. We have no commentary under the Neighborhood Council comment section. We also have speaker cards on items 2 through 11 for today's special agenda.
Okay, so we have, Carlos first. You say we have general public comment right now?
Yes, we do. We have two callers.
Okay, let's open that up. Thank you, Dr. Campos.
Perfect. Caller ending in 519, caller ending in 519, Miss Michelle Bisnoff. If you can please press *6 at this time to unmute your microphone. You'll be given 2 minutes to speak under general public comment.
Great, thank you. Again, my name is Michelle Bisnoff. I'm chair of the Brentwood Community Council over in CD 11. I'm also a commissioner for the Innovation and Performance Commission, and of course we bring all of our projects to you for approval. I just wanted to specify that today I'm not here on behalf of the Innovation Commission, but here on behalf of the Brentwood Community Council, specifically regarding an RFP that Bureau of Street Services will be bringing before you very shortly. This would be for digital outdoor advertising at bus stops. One of the things that we see is missing from this RFP is a defined public comment period for communities that will be receiving this type of signage. We'd like to ask for at least 60 days notice before anything is implemented, specifically because there is no process in the actual RFP for how public comment will be accommodated. We have a variety of specific plans throughout the city. We have community plans that are currently in process of being reviewed. And it's important that the council districts, neighborhood councils, and community councils have an opportunity to comment on what's going in and being upgraded in their communities. And with that, I would simply ask Commissioner Villegas to take a special look at that since she's assigned to BSS and just ensure that public has, I think, ample and defined ways to implement public comment before anything is actually put into the communities with regard to digital signage. And that's it for my comment today. Thank you so much for your hard work, and have a lovely holiday.
Thank you. Dr. Campos, you were muted.
Sorry about that. Thank you, Ms. Bisnoff, for your testimony. President Good and also Commissioners, just for the record, Ms. Bisnoff also submitted a commentary through the Google website, through our internet, our Google comment form regarding the same matter, so we will enter that into the record as well. We'll move on to the next caller on the line, caller ending in 403, Mr. Spindler. Can you please unmute your microphone? You'll be given 2 minutes to speak under general public comment. Please go ahead.
Yes. So you heard the good news. Now you're going to create blight on our street benches with your digital billboards at all of our bus stops. Why, Mr. Good, a.k.a. Mr. Bad? That's your new name, Commissioner Bad. You're no longer good. It's because the city's hungry for money. Just like goats, when they see green vegetation, they go over and they eat. That's what you're doing. You're feeding off campaign donations and fees. And then you shit on the rest of us and leave us with this blight. But we have very good news. You do? Yes. I saw some homeless individuals downtown the other day taking out little tiny cute sledgehammers and putting them through the advertisements in those pretty little glass cases, and they just smash. And with one smash, it's all gone. Won't it be nice when all the homeless around LA, each one of them, will be carrying a little tiny mallet? So after you put in your digital blight, our homeless neighbors unhoused will just put a fucking hammer through it and it shuts it down. Did you think of that? No. So now that Goat Puppet has told you what's going to happen, you'll have to go back and find a way to reinforce these disgusting digital billboards that nobody wants. That's right. And then finally, take a look down Hoover Street between 8th and James M. Woods. Where the fuck are our garbage cans? The city's not picking up the trash cans. The homeless burnt down 3 of them, and you have not replaced them. Like
Thank you, Mr.
Cedillo
Spindler.
told
Thank you, Mr.
over
Spindler.
and over.
All right, thank you. Dr. Campos, did you
Anything else? No.
Did you say, Dr. Campos, that we have any commentary from neighborhood councils?
We do not.
Okay. All right, then hearing that, we'll go right into the agenda. Got a lot to do today. Item number 1 is approval of the minutes from Tuesday, October 10th, 2020. Do I have a second to my motion? Do I have a second to my motion to approve those minutes?
So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Villegas. Any objections? Vice President Garcia, President Pro Tem Davis?
No objection.
None for me, no objections.
All right. Hearing no objections, the minutes from Tuesday, November 10th, 2020 are approved forthwith. Colleagues, that brings us to item 2. We have a series of assessment hearings on Bureau Street Lighting. I'm going to take items 2 through 11 together. Ruben Flamenco is with us to present, but before that, Dr. Campos, do we have a speaker on this item? These items?
Yes, we do, Mr. President. Caller ending in 403, caller ending in 403. Mr. Spindler, can you please press star 6 at this time? The board is now considering items 2 through 11 at this time. You'll be given 2 minutes for each item, up to 10 minutes in aggregate total. Please go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, so this is in Mommy's district. We call Nuri Martinez our mommy. So this is about putting lots of lights up in all of the areas of the 6th district. And as you can see, we need these things desperately now. The 6th district no longer has any real businesses left of all that. And the only thing we're doing is building unaffordable housing, but we still have a number of good industries left that make lots of money. Drug sales, prostitution, and sales of stolen items, yes. And we need good lighting whenever these 3 activities occur. So the lighting right now is very bad, so you always do these transactions at night. So today, there's a total of 9 items to put all kinds of lights all over CD6 to increase the amount of lighting. That way, next time you go to the 6th district and buy some drugs, after this project is completed, you'll be able to see the quality of your merchandise. Next time you pick up a hoe, you'll be able to see her. Or, in the case of some of you, yeah, dressed up as her, like the mayor. Then you also can buy your stolen iPhones and iPads and car parts. And a number of the homeless people have gotten very good at stealing catalytic converters, and there's a lot of those on sale on the streets of Panorama City, Van Nuys Boulevard, Vesper Avenue, Sherman Way, and of course, the drug capital and prostitution capital of the entire United States, Sepulveda Boulevard, from Burbank up to Satakoy. We need much, much more lighting. And today, You guys are going to approve every fucking one of these projects. That's right. And the reason why? Nuri wants it. What Nuri Martinez wants, you will do. And the reason why is because when Eric Garcetti goes to prison or leaves the state of California, Nuri is the acting mayor. She's the mayor. That's right. So you will be obedient, giving Nuri her street lighting, so all the criminals can conduct their business at night in peace. I think that's very nice. Oh, of course it is. Now, your staff will say the following.
Well, the reason we need street lighting because for public safety reasons, and also it decreases the amount of thefts out of cars. When there's street lighting. Also, the residents, it's to make them feel safer that have street lighting, and it reduces the homeless population. So therefore, it's a matter of good public policy. We urge you to learn of these 9 items.
That's what they're going to tell you. But Good Puppet is here to translate government bullshit into plain, simple English. This is for the criminal community of CD6. So yes, we could take 10 minutes to do this, but why? It's before the holidays. So, we'll let President Bad, formerly known as Good, go ahead and pass these items. I would only ask that Commissioner Davis, in the interest of Thanksgiving, just deny one of these. Just one of them to give the people a sense that you care. And that's it. I think you presented very well. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen of the grand jury. Oh, I'm sorry, no, not the grand jury, the commission. We're going to do the grand jury next week. Oh, yes. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen of the commission. Thank you. No, it's well said.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Campos. Ruben Flamenco is with us from the Bureau of Street Lighting to walk us through items 2 through 11. Good afternoon, Ruben. How are you doing?
Doing well, thank you. Ruben Flamenco, Bureau of Street Lighting. Items 2 through 11 pertain to lighting districts, which we are creating in conjunction with a community development block grant project. These 10 lighting districts are for local streets within the Panorama City residential area bounded south of Roscoe Boulevard, west of Lamona Avenue, north of Lanark Street, and east of Sepulveda. Ballots for items 2 through 11 were mailed on October 14th, 2020. Ballots for items 2 through 11 must be received by the City Clerk's office by Tuesday, December 1st. We are requesting for the board to deny the protest on items 2 through 11. We are requesting for the board to adopt and forward items 2 through 11 forthwith to City Council.
Thank you, Ruben. I really appreciate that. Colleagues, Vice President Garcia, any comments or questions?
No comments or questions. Good afternoon, everyone. Hi, Ruben. Good to see you.
Hello.
Good with these items. Thank you.
Thank you. President Pro Tem Davis?
No comment on it right now.
All right. Thank you, sir. And then Commissioner Villegas.
Hi, thank you. No, I don't have any questions either. Glad this work is going through Panorama.
Great. So, all right. Ruben, I would just agree and say great work. It is crucial to have street lighting in these communities. I'm very excited that Council President Martinez is working on this and that you're working with y'all on this. So, thank you very much, Ruben. Do I have a motion to move forward items 2 through 11?
I'll move.
Second.
All right, we've got a motion from Vice President Garcia to move these forward, and second from President Pro Tem Davis. Any questions or concerns? Commissioner Villegas?
None from.
All right. Hearing no objections, these items are approved forthwith. Thank you very much, Ruben.
Thank you.
Have a good weekend.
Likewise.
All right, colleagues, that brings us to item number 12. Item number 12 is a street closure in CD5. Everybody get ready. Street closure CD5. Metro Purple Line Extension Project, Section 2, Constellation Boulevard from the Avenue of the Stars to 500 feet east of the intersection. Recommending the board, 1, find that the board has reviewed and considered the information in the Metro West Side Purple Line Extension Project, Section 2 Draft Environmental Impact Statement, EIS, Environmental Impact Report, and the EIR, and the project final EIS, EIR. 2, find that the California Public Resources Code, Section 21166, and the California Environmental Quality Act, Guidelines Section 15162, on the basis of substantial evidence contained in the whole record, that since certification of EIS, EIR, there have been no changes with respect to the circumstances under which the temporary street closure being undertaken would require a subsequent EIR or supplemental EIR. 3, adopt the March 2012 Mitigation Monitoring and Reporting Program, Appendix 1 of the final EIS, EIR prepared by Metro as it pertains to construction impacts. 4, find under CEQA Guidelines Section 15091 that changes have been incorporated into the project that substantially lessens significant environmental effects as identified in the final EIS, EIR. Further find that there is no feasible alternative or additional feasible mitigation measures within the board's powers that would substantially lessen any significant effects the project would have on the environment. 5, adopt the attached CEQA findings of fact and statement of overriding considerations as it pertains to the temporary street closure, and find that the economic, social, technological, and other benefits of the project outweigh its significant and unavoidable impacts. 6, specify that the Metro Transit Division of the Bureau of Engineering, located at 1149 South Broadway, the board, located at 200 North Spring Street, and other relevant City of Los Angeles departments are custodians of the documents or other materials which constitute the record of the proceedings upon which the board's decision is based. And 7, approve the request to temporarily close Constellation Boulevard from the Avenue of the Stars to 500 feet east of the intersection, excluding the intersection, for 43 days, starting on November 23, 2020 at 12 a.m. and ending on January 3, 2021 at 4 a.m. to perform piling and decking system for Constellation Station. Larry Hsu is with us today. Dr. Campos, before Larry begins, do we have a caller for this item?
Mr. President, I do not have any callers. However, I can call at this time. We do have new callers on the line that joined us in the last 5-10 minutes. Members of the public, if you'd like to speak on item number 12, the Board of Public Works is now considering street closure, Metro Purple Line Extension Project. If you'd like to speak on this item, please press star 9 on your landline or mobile device. At this time, please press star 9 to speak on item number 12. Mr. President, I do have one caller. Caller ending in 403, Mr. Spindler, please go ahead. Please press star 6 to unmute your microphone. You'll be given 2 minutes to speak on this item. Please go ahead.
Yes. I think it's a great idea to shut Century City. It's where Paul Martin Krikorian used to work right there, right near that 500-foot area. One of those pretty buildings when he was a private counsel. So we want to shut it down, but let's shut it down permanently. Why should people go there in the first place when you can work from home? Right now, Bert Puppet is being driven by his friend right down the 101 freeway, headed to the Federal Building. And he's able to do meetings at the same time. Talk about convenience. So out with the old and in with the new. We should also use eminent domain and take all of Century City and turn all of the buildings and property there into an immediate homeless shelter. Think how many people you could house in those 20-story buildings. You know, that's a hell of an idea. Yes, it's a great idea. And then they would have a subway that could take them to new areas where wealthy people live, like Mr. Good and Mr. Davis and the formerly departed Kevin James. And then they can take their baskets. And then their friends can take more baskets and build tents in front of your homes. And you can experience the joy that Mr. Spindler and Goat Puppet enjoy when they go down to their office down in Koreatown and have to chop up wood and risk their personal safety removing homeless items so they don't commit arson. That's what we want you to experience, the love and joy of the houseless population. Because nobody's going to use that subway except people that have no money. So, again, this is the spread of poverty to the previously impoverished. Look around you, people. Go to Venice, for example, and Burbank Boulevard and Exposition. Look what a shithole it is now.
Thank you, Mr. Spindler. 2 minutes.
A future. Shithole Boulevard.
Mr. President, no other callers on the line for item number 12.
Thank you. All right, Larry.
Yes.
How are you?
Thank you.
So why don't you go ahead? Proceed.
All right. Thank you, President Good. Good afternoon. This is Larry Hsu from the Bureau of Engineering, Metro Transit Division. Metro West Side Purple Line Extension is divided into 3 sections. Section 2 constructs the subway alignment between the Wilshire-La Cienega station, being constructed as part of the Purple Line 1 project within the city of Beverly Hills to Century City in the city of Los Angeles. Purple Line 2 project is scheduled to be completed in the fall of 2025. Metro and its contractor, Tudor Perini Corporation and O&G Industries, are requesting to continue the closure of Constellation Boulevard east of Avenue of the Stars for 43 days starting Monday, November 23rd, 2020, and ending Sunday, January 3rd, 2021. This portion of Constellation has been closed to traffic since October 24th, as previously authorized by the board, which was granted on October 20th. This request will allow the closure to remain in place until January 3rd, 2021. Since this will be performed during the annual holiday season street closure restriction, CD5 is supporting this request. The work is to be performed during the street closure is unchanged and is to perform piling and construct a decking system which is needed to enable excavation for the Century City Constellation Station and will provide a temporary roadway to facilitate traffic while the underground station is being constructed. This work was originally planned to be performed during a series of weeknight closures. However, the project team decided to pursue continuous street closure since there is currently very light traffic due to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. And all major submittals for the work will be performed during, all major submittals for the work to be performed during this closure have been approved. And as part of this request, a California Environmental Quality Act memo was completed to analyze additional traffic impacts of the street closure. The conclusion of the memo was that the street closure extension would not result in any new significant environmental impacts or an increase in the severity of impacts from the previous closure duration. Metro stated that they have provided advance notice and performed mitigations for construction impacts in the Century City neighborhood in advance of the project construction activities. And that concludes my report. We have representatives from Metro, TPOG, DOT, and BOE to answer any questions you may have about this. Thank you.
Thank you, Larry. All right, folks, do we have questions? Vice President Garcia?
Thank you, President Good. I just have a question. I know that Metro is pretty efficient about doing their outreach, but given that this closure will be during holiday season, will any businesses be impacted by this closure during this time? And this could be during Metro.
This is across the street from a mall, but I would defer to Metro to provide specific details in terms of outreach and the feedback from the community. If someone from Metro can please.
Yes, hi. I'll be happy to answer that. The businesses east of Avenue of the Stars are not businesses; they're office buildings. They're tenant occupied and very low tenancy. So we spoke with the property managers of the two properties that are between Century Park East and Avenue of the Stars, where this closure is being requested. The area west of Avenue of the Stars, where the mall is located, there will be no construction based on a previously held commitment that Metro made to Westfield Mall not to work on that side of Avenue of the Stars during the holidays. So we've had extensive conversations with all of the stakeholders in the building, in the area, and no one has any concerns about us maintaining a closure east of Avenue of the Stars.
Okay, that's good to hear. That was my only question for today.
Thank you, Vice President Garcia. President Pro Tem Davis. You're muted, Mike.
No questions for me at this time.
Okay. And Commissioner Villegas.
Just a quick question, and if you don't have the answer, that's fine. I'm just wondering, has any projections been done for any cost savings since the work doesn't need to be done in the afternoon or on weekends?
I'm deferring to Metro on this question as well. Thank you for the question.
Good afternoon, commissioners. My name is Dan Kamor, and I work for Metro, and I'm the deputy project manager for this project. Excuse me. With regard to cost savings, there's really no cost savings per se for performing this work during the holiday period. The work that they'll be performing is contract work that they would be performing regardless of when they perform the work. This request is an attempt to continue to move the work that they're currently doing under the closure that they currently have without having to demobilize off of the site for the holiday period. I lost my train of thought, I'm sorry. But there's no cost savings to speak of. This is just contract work continuing. I don't know if that answers your question.
That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. And I was just curious, just because sometimes time equates to money. I had just a quick question, but it's
I remember my train of thought. This is also an opportunity to, as unfortunate as the pandemic that we're all going through is now, it does afford a unique opportunity for construction projects like this as a result of decreased traffic because of the stay-at-home orders. So that unique opportunity sort of presents an opportunity for this project to continue to perform work during the holiday period when ordinarily traffic would be higher due to the holiday period. But in this particular year, we don't expect that to occur because of the pandemic issue. So that's a further opportunity, if you will, for continuing the closure, extending the closure during the holiday period.
I have a question.
Go ahead, President Pro Tem Davis. Are you good, Commissioner Villegas?
I'm good, thank you.
Okay. Go ahead, Dr. Davis. You're muted.
Sorry about that. I did want to ask, when we do work during the holiday season, do we have to pay time and a half during that period of time?
Well, Metro doesn't. It's just a regular, it's a regular work shift.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Commissioners. And Dan, while you're on, thanks for joining us. My understanding, and forgive me if this was already said by, I think, Mindy on here, is that the community was actually fairly anxious to go ahead and do this closure now so that it's done by, so this work gets done and the closure done by the beginning of the year. Is that correct?
Yes, the community, the stakeholders and the business community, the surrounding business community, is, as I understand it, very interested in getting as much work done as quickly as possible during the period that the pandemic is affecting their tenancy. Right now, those tall buildings that the caller referenced earlier are ordinarily very full of tenants, business tenants. But as a result of the pandemic situation, the tenancy is very low right now. So the impact of continuing the work during the time of low occupancy is most advantageous for the businesses and the high-rise buildings in the area, because we get as much work done as we possibly can with much less impact to more people.
Rip the Band-Aid off while it's as easy as possible. Yep, makes sense. Okay. All right. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Mindy. Thank you, Larry. I don't have any further questions. I will I'll motion to move this forward. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Commissioner Villegas. Any objections, Vice President Garcia or President Pro Tem Davis?
No objections.
All right. Hearing no objections, this street closure is approved forthwith. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Commissioners. Happy holidays and stay safe.
Thank you. Likewise, and good work this weekend. Okay.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, colleagues, that brings us to item 13. Item 13 is it's an AFE and CD 11, Bureau of Sanitation, or AFE with Jordan Kaufman, KCTTC. Bureau of Sanitation and Office of Accounting are requesting board approval and execution of an authority for expenditure in the amount of $145,000 to encumber funds to pay property taxes as levied by the Kern County Treasurer tax collector for the period of July 1, 2020 through June 30, 2021. Alan Tran is with us. Alan, I'm sure you understand this AFE would be subject to the mayor's cost containment.
Understood.
Mr. President, we may have a caller on the line that raised their hand for public comment on this item. Would you like to take that first?
Yeah, no, I was going to. I just want to wrap that up. So this will be subject to the mayor's cost containment process. And yes, Dr. Campos, if we have a caller, let's open it up.
Thank you, Mr. President. Caller ending in 403. Caller ending in 403. Your hand is raised. You'll be given 2 minutes to speak on item 13. Go ahead, Mr. Spindler.
You've been doing very good today, Mr. Code. Mr. Jordan hasn't interrupted one time. Yes, I'm trying to be as Brown Act compliant as humanly. Now, look what we have here. Isn't this the Green Acres project? Now, you know that the city went up to Kern County, and you know what they did? No, what did they do? They fucked with Kern County! And Kern County came down here and did something about it. They lost their court case. Very terrible thing. So what they're doing now is they're putting levies on your city property and attaching it. So you have to pay whatever the fuck they tell you, or they take your property. Just like you do when you go up to Kern County and dump your hazardous waste and call it a compost factory. Right, Mr. Badgood? Right. That's right. Mr. Davis later in the closed session part of the meeting will tell you the history of that. He was there. He saw it all happen. That's how long he's been in the commission. 30 years. Thank you for your service, Mr. Davis, the longest serving commissioner. Now, you will pay these charges, and they are due 1/2 of them by December the 10th, 2020, and the next payment, April the 15th. April 10th, 2021. You will pay it, or you will be assessed a 10% penalty, and if you don't pay it within 3 years, your property will go to auction, and Mr. Spindler will go up to Kern County and buy it for $1. So please, don't pay it. Put it up for auction so we could buy it for $1. Well, you know,
2 minutes.
I know.
Thank you, Mr. Spindler. 2 minutes.
Okay, thank you. Again, the item is an authority for expenditure, Jordan Kaufman and KTTC. Alan Tran is with us this afternoon. Good afternoon, Mr. Tran.
Good afternoon, Board President Good, Commissioners, Mr. Ted Jordan, and Dr. Campos. My name is Alan Tran with the LA Sanitation and Environment. I'm here for an AFE to request fund to pay for the property tax of the Green Acre Farm, city property in Kern County. The request amount is $145,000, and this will cover for the period from July 1st, 2020 through June 30, 2021. The funding will come from the sewer operation and maintenance fund, so there will be no impact on the general fund. And that's conclude my report.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Tran. Any questions? Vice President Garcia.
I don't have any questions. Thank you.
All right, thank you. President Pro Tem Davis. Mike, you're on mute.
Yeah, Mr. Tran, this is our annual property tax fee.
Yes, it is, yes.
Okay, and you said this is pretty consistent with what we paid last year in the ballpark?
Last year, we request, let's see. Yes. So it's very consistent.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Is that it? Nothing else, Mr. Davis?
That's it. That's it.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Villegas?
Thank you. I have no questions. Thanks.
Okay. I don't either. This is all pretty cut and dry. Thank you, Mr. Tran. Again, I'll motion to approve the AFE as amended, requiring approval from the mayor's cost containment process.
Second.
And you've got a second from President Pro Tem Davis. Any objections or questions, Commissioner Villegas or Vice President Garcia?
I have none. Thank you.
I have none either. No objections.
All right, hearing no objections, the item is approved as amended forthwith. Thank you very much, Alan. Have a good weekend. You're muted, but that's good. We got you. All right, colleagues, that brings us to item 14. Item 14 is another authority for expenditure based on CD 11, which is actually because of Hyperion. This is with Pacific Gas and Electric Company. Bureau of Sanitation and Office of Accounting are requesting board approval and execution of an authority for expenditure in the amount of $200,576 to encumber funds to pay for electricity, utility charges to be incurred during operations at Green Acres Farm, located in Bakersfield, California, for the period of July 1, 2020 to June 30, 2021. Authorize the president or two members of the Board of Public Works to execute this service agreement. Alan is with us again. This too will be subject, if approved, to the mayor's cost containment process. Dr. Campos, do we have any public comment on this item?
We do have one caller on the line that has his hand up. Caller ending in 403, Mr. Spindler. You have 1 minute and 30 seconds left under the 10-minute aggregate rule. The board is now considering item number 14. Please go ahead. You have 1 minute and 30 seconds.
Okay, so make it short. We're down to 1:30. All right, asshole. All right, now, again, part two of the Kern County revenge. Yes, if you would buy your power from that particular operation from states like Arizona, that went for Biden, or even Utah, where DWP owns property and makes coal-produced energy, that bill would be 50%. But I would also move, and I hope my folks up in Kern County are listening, make sure that you bill them for renewables 100% next year so that you can make this $500,000. Stick it to the city of LA, everybody. Take LA for all it's got, because it's a no good, demon satanic worship city ran by the devil, Eric Luis Garcetti. Thank you so much.
Thank you, caller.
Thank you.
All right, with that, Mr. Tran, go ahead.
Good afternoon again. Okay, I'm here for an AIP to request fund to pay for the Pacific Gas and Electric Company for the electric city uses for the farming operation at Green Acre Farm. The majority of the electric city uses is for the water pump to transfer the irrigation water across the field and to pump the groundwater from the existing well. We also use the electricity for the office, the conference center, and the equipment repair shop. The request amount is $200,576, and this will cover from the July 1st, 2020 to June 30, 2021. This fund also comes from the sewer operation and maintenance account, so therefore there is no impact on the general fund. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tran. Colleagues, any questions? Commissioner Villegas?
I have none, thank you.
All right. President Pro Tem Davis?
None for me on this item.
Thank you, sir. Vice President Garcia?
No questions either. We have to pay our bills.
All right. That's right. All right. Questions either. Do I have a motion to move this forward?
So move.
Thank you, Commissioner Villegas. Do I have a second?
Second.
I got 2 seconds. Vice President Garcia and President Pro Tem Davis, both very excited to pay our bills. And no objections from me, so hearing no objections, the item as amended, subject to the mayor's cost containment process, is approved forthwith. Thank you again, Mr. Tran. This time, we will tell you have a great weekend. Okay?
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Thank you, sir. All right, colleagues, that brings us to item 15. This is an administrative item. This is the, in CD4, specification submitted for board adoption and authorization to advertise for the invitation of bids in Council District 4, Ventura Boulevard and Woodman Avenue improvements. Work order number E1908174. The estimated value of the bid is, or the bid request is for the project, $858,557. Bid receipt date will be January 5, 2021. There's no presentation on this, but Dr. Campos, do we have a caller on this item?
We do, Mr. President. We have Mr. Spindler on the line, caller ending in 403. You have 25 seconds left in your 10-minute aggregate total. Please go ahead. 25 seconds, item number 15.
Yes, this will be the last time that David Rue will come to you for money. As you know, he was defeated by a new criminal, Nithya Ramadan Raman. So, please, let's adjourn this meeting after this in the honor of David Rue. Thank you for your service, trying to do something honest. And you know what happens in City Hall when you do it.
Thank you, Mr.
You go bye-bye. Hold on.
Okay, colleagues, do I have a motion to request for bids?
I think that was a motion from Garcia, but she was muted.
I was muted. I'm sorry. I moved.
It's okay. I've got a motion from Vice President Garcia to approve this request for bids. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Commissioner Villegas. Any concerns or questions, President Pro Tem Davis?
No concerns or questions for me.
All right. This solicitation of bids is approved and adopted forthwith. With that, item 16, Item 16 is an oral report from Streets LA from David Kempton. And David is going to be giving us an update on major upcoming street improvement projects. Good afternoon, David. I don't see you.
Mr. President, there's been a change in presenters. Ms. Aida Valencia will be presenting item number 16.
Oh, hi, Ms. Valencia. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, and I apologize for the background. I don't know how to remove it.
It's okay. I'm trying to read it, but you go ahead.
It's Women of Asphalt. Good afternoon, President Good,
No reason to
Commissioners.
apologize for that background.
My name is Aida Valencia. I'm with the Bureau of Street Services, Resurfacing and Reconstruction Superintendent. And I'm here to give you an update on projects that we have for resurfacing. Next week, we will not be working on any select streets. However, the Metro region will be completing 7 projects, and that will accumulate to 4.09 lane miles of paving. And in the Valley, we will be completing 10 projects with 4.29 lane miles of new resurfacing. And that's all we have for now, unless you have any questions for me.
Thank you very much, Ms. Valencia, with the cool background. Vice President Garcia, any questions?
I don't have any questions, but it's nice to see you, Aida.
See you too.
Thank you. President Pro Tem Davis?
No questions for me.
Thank you. And Commissioner Villegas?
No questions for me either. Thank you. Thanks, Aida.
Thank you. Well, you all have a wonderful holiday and be safe.
Thank you. You may not sing like a colleague, but your presentation was great. Thank you very much. Okay, with that, colleagues, we're going to recess for 5 minutes. We will come back at 2:32 in the p.m. So everyone, hang tight. Thank you very much.
Is that it? Yeah, that's it. Okay.
Hi, Adele.
Perfect. Mr. President, I am going to start recording at this time. Recording has started. If you'd like, I can go ahead and reestablish quorum.
Yes, please go ahead, Dr. Campos.
Thank you, Mr. President. Fernando Campos, Executive Officer. It's 2:35 p.m. We are reestablishing quorum. We have President Good, Vice President Garcia, President Pro Tem Davis, and Commissioner Villegas. President Good, you do have a quorum. Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Campos. There we go. Okay, great. So item number 17, colleagues, is a retirement recognition for a host of folks from Streets LA, part of the separation incentive plan that the city has been in the process of implementing. We got a bunch of superstars on the screen, and speaks to the leadership, the performance, the quality of the work of Streets LA, that with just a minimal invitation, really more notice than anything, you've got, I know CD2 is here, CD3 is here, CD5 is here, Councilwoman Monica Rodriguez was here, I think another council member may be joining us, and that's because Streets LA takes care of business. And so with that, I'm going to hand it over to the indefatigable Adele Hashgalil to lead us through this process, and we'll go from there. Hi, Adele.
Hey, how are you? Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, President Good. Thank you, Commissioner. It's an honor to be before you here. It's a sad day and a
Dale, can
combination.
call you?
Volume. Okay, so it's a sad day, but also it's a great day for all of us. It's a sad day to see a great experience, people leaving us, friends, colleagues at the line to serve this great city, and I'm so proud of them. It's a great time for all of them as they take another journey in their life, to family, their life, and do whatever they wanted to do. And I know it's a great opportunity for them to connect with their family, with their friends, and I wish them really a happy retirement, and we're gonna miss them. That with your permission, Mr. President, if we can play the video and from the team that John Duday prepared, and I want to play it. So, John, can you play that, please?
Thank you, Dale. Judge Campos, we got them all set up?
Yes, we do.
Greetings, this is Adele. Hey, I want to talk to you and say thank you for your service, for your work, for everything you've done over the last 30 plus years in serving Los Angeles, serving Streets LA. I know you're very proud of the work you've done. I am proud of the work you've done. The city is proud of the work you've done. You made LA a better place to live because of your work. You made LA a place that's safe, that's mobile, that's sustainable. All of you have helped enhance the quality of life for everyone. You've touched my life, as you've touched many other lives. So I want to thank you. Thank you for what you've done. We're going to miss your expertise, we're going to miss your knowledge, but we'll never forget your friendship. You'll always be part of us, you'll always be part of this family, and one day, soon, we'll be able to properly celebrate your careers, celebrate your friendship, and look forward to seeing you soon. So with that, I want to wish you a safe, healthy, and long retirement. Enjoy your family, enjoy your loved one. We love you and appreciate you. And I say goodbye and see you soon.
Yes.
Happy retirement!
Yes. Yes, God bless. Thank you.
Congratulations, all of you Streets LA folks that are retiring. We are so happy for you. We are so jealous also, but we're really, really happy for you. Thank you so much for your years of service. It was a pleasure working with all of you guys. Best wishes in your retirement. Enjoy to the fullest. Stay healthy. Keep moving. All the best. Thank you.
Congratulations, retirees, for your 30 years of service, paving streets, fixing sidewalks, trimming trees, code enforcements, and many other tasks and duties that you perform for the city of Los Angeles. I appreciate you, and the city appreciates you for the hard work that you've done, your dedication to service and duty. Thank you. I truly appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. You're released from this institution. You get to go enjoy the rest of your life. You get to go have fun and do whatever you want to do. I'm glad for you. May you have a happy, healthy life in your retirement. Enjoy. Thank you.
Happy retirement.
This is Greg Spots in Valley Glen with our equipment operator, Michelle, who's one of our 130 SIP retirees. And we both want to tell you, enjoy your retirement.
Enjoy your retirement.
So,
It's a great ride. I hope everybody has a great retirement.
thank you, Sal. He's got 40 years with the city at Rec and Parks and with Streets LA. And as you can see, he's a big Raiders fan. So wishing everybody a great retirement and thank you for your service.
To my colleagues and friends, let me first thank you and congratulate you for a tremendous career with the City of Los Angeles and Bureau of Street Services. I'll be joining your ranks also within a few months, so I'll be there. A fun fact, 130 people leaving Bureau, that's like 4,000 years of collective experience leaving. In any case, I wish you all happy, healthy, and prosperous future. And the important thing is lots of success in your next endeavor. Thank you.
Happy retirement.
Happy week.
Mr. Spindler, thank you for your relentless contribution today. You are off item, another word, and you're gone. Thank you, Fidel.
Thank you, and sorry for I was on the phone with somebody. Apparently there was some confusion with the Zoom, some of the retirees. So I know I know some of the staff may have missed the video, but I want to assure you the video was great. We will share that video with each one of you. We'll post the website and we'll share it with you. And I want to thank you for the work. I know Fred said the amount of years is 4,000. It's amazing. And 10% of our workforce is retiring. So it's a huge impact, but we're committed to the service. So I want to turn it back to you, Mr. President.
Sorry, I was muted. Apologize, everybody. Thank you, Adele, and thank you to everybody. Before we open up the commission, I would love to, we have a number of guests. Councilmember Bob Blumenfeld, the chair, or council member from from the great CD3, and chair of the Public Works and Gang Reduction Committee, has joined us. Councilmember Blumenfeld, how are you?
I'm doing good, Greg, or Greg good. And thank you for letting me be here to say just a couple of words. I mean, it is so bittersweet to have all these folks leaving. I wish you wouldn't leave, everybody. This is too much. It's all this talent that we have, and I know, and I don't begrudge it for anybody, because I know you guys are going to retire and do good things, and I wish you so much the best. I worry about our city without you because of all the collective experience that you have. But really today is about thank you and gratitude. And I am very grateful as the chair of Public Works, but as a council member and just as an Angelino, for all that you have done for this city, for the care. I know that when people like you work for this city, it's not just a job, that you put your heart and your soul into it. It's so evident by the work that you've done, by the way that you handle things. And, you know, I just wanted to be here to wish you well and to, you know, on behalf of the people of Los Angeles, to express gratitude for all that you have done and the love and commitment that you have shown in doing it. So thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Blumenfeld. Really appreciate that. Cecilia Castillo, who is the tip of the spear for CD3 with the Board of Public Works is joining us as well. Thank you, Cecilia, for being here. Do you want to add anything? All right. Thank you for all you do. And from Council District 5, really no need to introduce, but I will because she deserves it. Chief of Staff to Councilmember Paul Koretz, Joan Pellico, who knows a little bit about public works. Hi, Joan. Oh, you're muted.
There I am. Hello, President, and all my friends. Actually, I'm a mess already, but I think you know how much you all mean to me. So, first of all, I'm jealous that the next time I see you all, you're all going to look 10 years younger. I don't know how that happens, but it does happen when people leave the city. But your loyalty and your dedication, I have always been in awe of, no matter what has happened in this city. And I started 15 years ago, so some of you have been here a lot longer than I have. But I do remember during the recession, and it didn't matter that the resources weren't there. You figured out a way. And through the pandemic, and you figured out a way, and you did it with joy, and you did it because you cared. You've had incredible leadership. Adele has been amazing. Keith Mose is a very special place in my heart. But I want you all to know, without you, we couldn't do our job. You make things happen, and you just make all of us look good. And for that, I so appreciate it. Councilmember Koretz had a conflict today, so he wasn't able to join us. But I am here with all my heart. And what I love most about you is that you are very special human beings. So if I start saying all your names, you're going to have to peel me off the floor. So I will say Veronica Maxwell, you and I are meeting at the Apple Pan once a month. And then my friends Tim Walls, Karen Bowie, Elvin, Sherman Torres, John Saponi. I could go on and on and on. Tobias, I didn't know you were leaving, Tobias. So thank you, President Good, for allowing me to say a few words. But I love you all, and I will never forget you. And please send me your personal emails and phone numbers, because I will call you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Joan. I will tell you, I did have more than one conversation about whether or not Joan Pellico cries today. So you're awesome. Thank you so much for being with us, and thank you for all you do for Public Works. And you really just hit it all on the nose. I'd like to open it up to my colleagues now. Why don't we start with President Pro Tem Davis?
Oh, okay. Thank you so much, President Good. It is always a pleasure for me to honor the people who helped make Los Angeles what it is. First, I want to focus on street services of all of the bureaus in the Department of Public Works. You are among the most popular. You run the nation's largest municipal street service system, and you also have the largest urban forest in the country. Among many other great things that you have been a part of, whether it's the pavement preservation program, the Great Streets program that the mayor's office is proud of and has made a big difference in numerous neighborhoods in all 15 of the council districts, as they each have a great street. The tree trimming program that we certainly would like to have done more often, but when you do it, we're proud to have these trees trimmed. street pothole repair, neighborhood council initiative program where we've allowed those neighborhood block clubs to have some input and to select places where we will fill asphalt and repair the potholes based upon their decisions. And also walkable neighborhoods. And I think that the customer service that you all have maintained with the residents of the city of Los Angeles, and many of you for over 15 and some of you up to 30 years. And so it is eternally grateful. We are eternally grateful for the service that you have given. And you can look back upon this part of your life with pride that you were a public servant in the most dynamic and largest city in America. When it gets to public service, you have been a part of the best. And as I always say in these retirements, when many of my colleagues are sad to see you go, and it's not that I am not sad to see you go, but I've chosen to embrace the feeling of being proud and happy for you because of the hard work that you've put in for all these years. And I have to tell you, as your commissioner, it has been an honor, and I am proud that you have earned the right to enjoy your family and to choose what you want to do, and most of all, that you'll get a great pension to go with it. So congratulations, and we look forward to hearing from you in terms of some of the things that you do in life, and who knows, President Good may call you back for a couple of hours. I understand when you retire, you're good for a few hours per year. So don't be surprised with this drought that you leave us with in terms of talent, knowledge, and skill, that we might come to re-enlist you to volunteer maybe with some $1 or $2 or $3 to show our appreciation. So again, thank you so much for your service and congratulations.
Thank you, President Pro Tem Davis. Vice President Garcia.
Thank you, President Good. It is sad for me. I don't agree with Davis. It is sad to see so many of folks go. Adele, I don't know what you're gonna do without these folks. You know, you're gonna have to readjust and refigure out who you are because a lot of folks are leaving. It is sad to see all of you go. Veronica, Tim, you know, those are the ones I can, you know, see from the top of my head right now on the screen, but by the way, it's been such a great pleasure to work with all of you. Joan, you're not the only one that's a mess. I get to be a mess all the time. When we've done this already 3 times, and I still get really fuzzy in the heart with
Three for three.
3 and I still can't stop. So thank you for all your hard work. I want to recognize George Prado specifically, because from the list I saw he was a 39-year veteran for the city. He was the longest member from BSS retiring. So George Prado, congratulations. 39 years, that's admirable and impressive when someone can stay this long in one place and love it and still wake up early every day and get to work and enjoy yourself. So you can't do that. You can't be in one place for 30, almost 40 years and not love what you do. You just can't. So I know that you all love what you're doing. You love maybe not the waking up, but definitely being at work and making the city so much better, making the city look so good every day. And all of you all get to show off. Probably more than any other bureau, because you fix the street, you fix the sidewalks, you fix our trees. And so you get to drive around with your loved ones and say, yeah, I worked on this street. Yeah, I fixed this pothole. Yeah, I got to get on that tree and cut it. And not everybody gets to say that. Not everybody will get to say that in their lifetime. So I'm just very sad, happy for you personally, but very sad for us, the city, as we see you go during this crazy time. And we can't physically hug you, we can't physically give you a gift, but through this medium of a Zoom, we wish you all the best all around. So as a commissioner of the city, a steward of the city, thank you for making us look great, for fixing our streets, for just being so considerable about your time and your effort. I also want to thank your families, by the way. Your families that have supported you throughout these long commitments of your career, your kids, your spouses, your significant others, or whoever it was that supported you. They were with you. They heard all your goods and all your bads that you went back home throughout this entire lifetime that you've been with the city. And you know what? They're going to miss all those conversations as well. But like I said, you get to drive around the city and show off what you did. So thank you all these men and women that look so, some of you are already enjoying your retirement, by the way. And I'm so happy to see that. But I just have to say, congratulations. Thank you. Be proud of what you've done. It's an amazing time. And we will definitely miss you. We will miss you from the bottom of our hearts. It's a sad time. It's a sad and bitter time. I have to, okay, fine. It's a happy time for you guys, but it really is a sad time for us. And just keep on taking care of the city in your own way. I'm sure you will. You can't just give up the city that fast after so many years that you've been here. And continue to, be who you are and enjoy your time and your families. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Vice President Garcia. Commissioner Villegas.
I'm not going to be like all crying like I was last time. But I do want to echo the same sentiment, that everybody has shared this afternoon. It's bittersweet. A collective 4,000 years is tremendous. And I think it just speaks to the value system that we all share. We love being here. We love being a part of, city family. And, when I started with the city, I remember somebody telling me it sounds like it's a really exclusive group. And I was just taken aback by something like that because everybody uses it so common and people from the outside don't understand it. But it really does feel like a family here. You hear a lot of, you hear a lot of heart, you hear a lot of love. And those are just part of the fabric of the city of Los Angeles. Congratulations to everybody, today on your celebration and on your tremendous work ethic that you've shared, with us. I do also want to thank, all of your significant others, your family, your children, everybody, because it just takes a collective effort from everybody just to keep going. I'm bothered sometimes when my husband has to do something on a Sunday. I can't imagine everybody is like time after, if we have a windstorm, if we have any kind of, special event that happens, you're there like cleaning up our streets, during the summertime, you're there after a Laker game, you're there after, baseball, celebrations, cleaning up and just taking no for an answer. Thank you so much. I did want to just call out that we have two people actually from Streets LA that served 40 years, and I think it was in the video, Mr. Sal Torres, 40 years, that's amazing. I was gonna say it's, more than my life, but it is not. I'm over 40. And we also have Mr. Joaquin Villanueva, 40 years, that's a big deal. Thank you. And then, as was mentioned earlier, George Prado, 39 years. And we also have Raul Garcia, 37 years. Oh, and then Mr. John Saponi, thank you, 35 years. That's just amazing. It's just lovely and amazing. And everyone, and Veronica, your just beautiful smile and your spirit are definitely going to be missed. Thank you for always just making me feel super welcomed. I've just, celebrated with the city for a year now, and it's just been tremendous. I've learned a lot from all of you, whether you're, out in the field or in the office, doesn't even matter, because the work is just, it's the same. It's the same. Just from execution, from a thought to actually implementing, it's a big deal. And just a huge thank you and a lot of love to everybody. That's it.
Thank you, Commissioner Villegas. I want to just say a couple things and share something with everyone. And then I know that there are some folks who are on the Zoom now who didn't get to see the video, so we're gonna we'll replay that at the end as well. But I do want to well, one, this is something that's become quite common, and I'm going to respectfully and lovingly object to President Pro Tem Davis's enthusiasm for your departure, and tell you that I'm not happy at all. I am not only sad, but damn near mad that you're all leaving, and that's because your boss Adele talks all the time. I'm sure you know this. He certainly does to y'all. He does to us about asset management system. And I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, actually, Streets LA en masse is the biggest asset management system in the Western United States. I'm looking at the asset management system because, what I'm going to do at the end of the day, in the dark, with lots of noise, I'm going to walk outside and I'm going to walk on the sidewalk. I'm going to pass a tree. I'm going to look to my left in terms of where I walk out, and I'm going to see a nicely paved street. This weekend, I'll go on walks with my daughter and my dog, and we will benefit by the hour from the work of you. As a veritable rookie in this joint, compared to the literally, and I think Fred mentioned this, the thousands and thousands and thousands of years of expertise, of storytelling, of work, of emergencies, of just grinding along, if you'll forgive the word, the verb. I am humbled by what we see here, because you all made this city. I mean, simply put, you made the city. And for that, we all owe you an incredible debt of gratitude, deep and profound appreciation. And while I do embrace my colleagues' excitement for what's ahead for all of you, we are a lesser city today for the loss of your service, or for the loss of you tomorrow. We're a richer city for the benefit of your service. And so I want to just congratulate all of you. I don't think Angelinos get it. Just what you've all put into this city and into their lives. But know that we do. Know that I do. And I'm really appreciative and really grateful. And I hope you all have lives of wine and roses and championships and parks and family and fun and a post-pandemic normalcy and celebratory
champagne
and lots of champagne.
That's a good one.
I'm right next to my bar over here. I'm like, wait, we gotta have the champagne.
That's a good one, Teresa.
Checked its cocktail hour in at least 75% of the world right now. So thank you all so much. I know a couple of other folks have been able to jump on. Some old man who used to sit in my chair he threw a jacket on. These days he barely shows up in anything other than pajamas.
Right.
But President Kevin James is here, and I think Jennifer Pope McDowell joined us. Kevin, I'm cutting you off pretty quick, so you better make it quick. Go.
Greg was doing so well until he got to the comment about pajamas. But of course, I put on a jacket to talk to our folks from Streets LA. And I won't take a lot of time, even though there are so many of you. I loved it when we were able to do it one at a time back pre-COVID, and wish we were back at that time. I'm optimistic that we'll get there again in the coming months now with a vaccine. But COVID has affected everything that we're doing, and it's obviously a big factor in the reason that we're having this meeting, this discussion right now. Let me just say that to all of you that are retiring, thank you. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your loyalty to the city and to the Department of Public Works, and your assistance and cooperation for the Board of Public Works and my 7 years there. And just know that that here in the city we care so much about you, and we appreciate all the care that you've given us. Stay in touch, and those of you, one of the hardest parts for me is just to see. I'm very excited for you that have had this opportunity and chosen to take this next step in life. Maybe there's an element of jealousy there that I didn't have the years, because I certainly had the age. But let me just say that, and you know who you are, that I've worked with so closely. I'm really going to miss you, and the city's going to miss you. And thank you for all that you did for Los Angeles. And I'm going to be selfish for a minute. Thank you for all that you did for me in my years at Public Works, particularly in my early years when I was still trying to find my way around the agencies that you all have served so well. And best wishes, good luck, and have a great time.
Thanks, Kevin. You can put your pajamas back on.
And notice that I didn't speak nearly as long as Greg could.
Only because he's got a pajama party to get to. On that note, Jennifer Pope McDowell is here from the Mayor's Office of City Services. Jennifer, you want to say anything to these rock stars on the Zoom?
Absolutely. Thank you, President Good and commissioners. I'm so glad to be here today to join you all in celebrating these mighty fine folks from Street Services, now known Streets LA. I just echo everyone's thanks, particularly on behalf of the Mayor's Office. You all know that the services that you have spent your many years delivering are those back to basics services that residents rely on, and we just could not be more proud at everything that you've accomplished. And we're just so grateful for you all. And I personally am so grateful for many of your friendship, and will very much miss you all, and really hope to run into you around this small town one of these days. So thank you for everything. Congratulations. Take care.
Thank you, Jennifer. All right. Before we close, Adele, Dr. Campos, you want to? Can we run up the video again? I know we got some folks here that weren't able to jump on earlier.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mr.
Oh,
President,
go ahead.
Can I ask? I know the ADs wanted to say a couple of words.
Sure.
Okay, quickly. Let me start with Stephanie, who's working on the budget as we speak. So let me turn over to her quickly, and then the ADs for just a few seconds.
Hi, Stephanie.
Hi, everybody. I'm a bad crier. I'm going to put my video off. Congratulations to all of you. And while all of us remaining are a little fearful of what's to come, we are also genuinely, really, really, really happy for you guys. And I'm extra happy for this group of people, because you guys had to deal with ERIP. This group of people really had to take the brunt of ERIP. And it seems fitting and right that you were able now to also benefit from an ERIP type situation. You deserve this. You earned this. You worked your butt off for many, many years to get to this spot. As we all know, working for the city can be extremely rewarding. It's a rewarding feeling knowing you can provide for your family and be comfortable after you retire with a pension. Being a public servant is rewarding because you know that you're not just working for the man, and you're not just working for a profit, you're working to serve. And that's a great feeling knowing that you can make a paycheck and serve at the same time. But this job also can be frustrating and very taxing, as you all well know. Many of us are working with the same people for 20, 30 years. So you've probably experienced many frustrating, stressful times with coworkers, with managers, with constituents, with the bureaucracy, with the politics, with the starts and the stops and the starts again, and then the more stops, and then the critiques for stopping and starting at the wrong time. The bureaucracy can be frustrating. The politics, the having 50 different bosses and seemingly 4 million constituents waiting for you to screw up. This can be taxing on the mind and body. But none of this matters now. You did it. It doesn't matter anymore. Let all those past frustrations, stresses, interpersonal conflicts, missed opportunities, annoyances with coworkers and assistant directors, all of the politics, all of the no good deed goes unpunished assignments, let it go. It doesn't matter anymore. It's not your problem. Let it go and enjoy. We are so blessed that you were part of Streets LA, and I'm honored to call you coworkers. Stay healthy, eat your fruits and vegetables, drink your water, get those walks. Stay active, enjoy nature, you deserve it. I know a lot of people I want to talk to and I wish I could hug. A big hug, a virtual hug to Nick, Titus, Edgar, Elvin, Ronnie, Truck, Indir, Jeffrey, Stephanie, Antoine, Dennis. It was a pleasure to know you at Public Works Building. And apologies for not leaving anyone out. I do have a few honorable mentions. Yalin Tam, one of our first general superintendent females, always prepared, professional, always rolled with the punches under difficult circumstances. It was an absolute pleasure to work with you. Don Saponi, general superintendent, such a good guy, so experienced, always got the job done with levity, with a joke or a smile, and a sense of calmness in difficult circumstances. I appreciated this and I relied on this calmness. And I'm sure his troops did too. Navard, talk about someone who got things done. Navard was a firestorm, always working, always running around, always getting things done, fixing issues and problems, implementing new technologies. We are going to be in a world of hurt without this rock star. Gina, hey Gina, hope you're having fun. We are jealous. Thank you for all of your efforts throughout your entire career. No one knew your stuff better than you, and we thank you for your thorough and analytical staff work and all your help with the feds and gas tax, et cetera, et cetera. Sherman Torres, classy, prepared, professional, always got his stuff done, always positive, always had the right thing to say. Thank you for your kindness and support. Deborah Varon, Deborah comes from personnel, but she's really one of us. Congratulations. Hi, Deborah. I don't know if you're here. I miss you. I can't thank you enough for all of your help. I would always go to Deborah with every little question, and she always knew the answer and always provided me with the best advice. Like Keith said recently, Deborah was our conscience, and we will miss her and that guidance that kept us on the right path. Monica, you are a rock star. You came in and helped me so much. You were a consummate professional, prepared, hardworking, and so resourceful. Hey, Pam, I don't know if you're here, but hi, hope you're having fun. Thank you for always finding solutions to difficult problems. You were always here to help, always here to serve, and always a team player. I'm almost done. Tim Tyson, Chief Forester, man, we cannot replace you. I'm so blessed that we had a special bond, and I will miss that. On behalf of the trees, thank you for giving them the gift of life. Ming, our brains, our guru, our advisor, our friend, our calm in the tornado. Thank you for everything, and look forward to seeing you soon at another time. And last but not least, Veronica Maxwell, my spirit animal. You bring so much joy, kindness, big smiles, intelligence, fun, and hard work. You put your heart and soul into this job, and you always think about others before you. Thank you, everybody. I love working for Streets LA, and it's because of all of you guys. Have a great time. Enjoy.
Thank you, Stephanie. Let me say, good thing that the budget is not being done on paper. It'll be moving. Let me have Keith. Keith, you want to go next?
All right, thank you, everybody. And I have to say, I agree totally with Stephanie's sentiment. I'm going to be selfish for a second and read off just a few of the names of the people I've worked for over my 31 years that I grew up with in this bureau. Frank Pancho Barcenas, Nicholas Berrigan, who I started out with on cruise, Navarre, Winston Chu, Frank Cornelius, Joe Crenshaw, Tobias Cristales, Paul Collins, Ali Yannis, Titus Drew, I love you guys. Edgar Duncan, I'm a nerd at heart when it comes to science fiction. I'm able to talk point of singularity with Edgar about the entire universe, and that's somebody it's like I'll still talk to and I'll still miss. Beto, Roberto Gamez, Raul Garcia. Raul Garcia taught me about paving, him and Professor Razorback. And Professor Razorback is a shovel. Every time I made a mistake, Raul's like, here, Professor Razorback will show you how to correct that mistake. So Raul taught me everything I know about paving. Cesar Godoy, Alan Ginger, Fred Garcia. It's like, I remember when went to classes together back in the day. Cesar Godoy, Ming Gong, Gary Granados, who I shared time with on the paving and grinding crews. Luke Eisen, Lordino, Uriel Hernandez, Ronnie L. Jackson, Ray Lozano, comedian. Ray's a total comedian, will have me in tears in minutes just talking about his antics. He's hilarious. Gina Mancha, thank you, Gina, for all that you've done. Frank Martinez, Veronica Maxwell, Baby Yoda. As like with Yoda, basically Veronica regresses with age and she's young. Baby Yoda. Stephanie McFadden, thank you. Dan McGovern. I remember those days out on the paving crew at night when I told you the start limit was like a mile down the road and you just looked at me crazy one night. Truck, thank you for the asphalt plants. Pam, thank you for everything that you've done with me with contracts. Art Pacheco, Ender, John Zapone, comedian. John's a stitch, and he did his work with levity and fun. I've always enjoyed John's friendship. Monica, thank you. Yalin Tam, it's like, oh my goodness, it's like Yalin's helping. I collaborate with Yalin on so many different things. Sherman Torres, my partner in crime in paving preservation for decades. He was my partner in crime for a very long time. Thank you. Tim Tyson, I love you, Tim. It's like, you were great. You're always boisterous and passionate about your trees. That was great. Joaquin Villanueva, oh my goodness. Dennis Waquet, Tim Walls, Jim Windsor. I remember, Jim, when you were a contract truck driver starting out and joined us in our fleet. Clarence Young and Deborah Barron, yeah. When I needed advice on personal matters, I went to Deborah Barron, and she was my conscience. She talked me off the ledge. She told me the right thing to do, and it's like, I appreciate that. I'm going to miss all of you guys. All of you guys are great. It's like we've had successes, battles, wins, losses over the years. And we couldn't accomplish what we did, as far as a bureau, without a collective, a family organization. And it is a family. It's people that, we work with, for 30 plus years, 30 plus years, think about that. You've worked alongside somebody, you shared intimate moments, you've shared, struggles, things like that. And that's, it's like, when that person is gone, you're going to miss them. It's like you're going to turn that corner expecting to see that person. They're not going to be there. And they will live on in this institution as far as in the halls and the memories of everybody as we speak about, different things that we've done over the years. We'll refer back to you and, and loving memories. And we'll all laugh and things like that. We'll all be sitting on our rocking chairs one day looking back at all the things that we've accomplished in Streets LA. And it's been a great ride with you guys. I appreciate you. I love you. I'm going to miss you. One day I will be joining you, but just not now. It's just one day. But I will call upon you when I need to. So thank you all.
Thank you, Keith. And Keith is using the word love.
He said, and they'll be rid of me if I didn't say it at least 3 times in my speech.
You have to say love. Love is important. Let me have Greg Potts.
Greetings, everybody. Greetings from West Los Angeles. Today's my 8th anniversary at Streets LA, so it's a sentimental day for me. The best part about working here is the can-do spirit of the group. One time I was having lunch with one of my counterparts in another jurisdiction, and he was saying he could never go to the movies on a Saturday because if, something happened out on the streets, he personally would have to, call people and beg them to roll out on an emergency. And I just, shook my head I don't know what the hell you're talking about. You know, like, I've never ever needed to call somebody to roll out. Like, everybody rolls out. The assistant directors don't need to beg anybody to roll out in the middle of the night in the rain. Folks are game and they go. There's an amazing can-do spirit in this agency that's very different than what people think government workers are like. People do whatever it takes to like solve the problem, fix the emergency. There's even a photo in our archives of how we handled like an ice storm, and like the canyons were icy, and we figured out how to de-ice the canyons, you know, in LA. So it's really a wonderful journey with everybody. I've got the list here too, and I'll just mention a couple of folks. When I first started, I was asked to come up with like a checklist on how a resurfacing job, whether it was done right, you know, like a 100-point score. And two people who are on this list taught me about resurfacing, Raul Garcia and Titus Drew. And they were some of the most personally involved supervisors that you'll ever see. When you go to a crew, you know it's one of their crews because they're like right there at the paver, directing the crew almost like you would conducting an orchestra. And when I first met Raul Garcia, he didn't like how they were paving this part of the intersection, and he actually jumped on the paver and starts turning this wheel, you know, because he wanted to change the T or whatever they call it. And I thought, now that's a supervisor who really cares, and that's how we all work. Investigator Stephanie McFadden has been deployed in some of our most challenging assignments, where sometimes people didn't want to see us enforcing the rules of the public right-of-way, and I really admired how she handled all those assignments. Tree Surgeon Supervisor Jorge Pardo was mentioned with his 39 or 40 years, and the last time I saw him, you know, sometimes I come up on, you know, on a segment for tree trimming, and the work is going on the other end, and he like ran all the way down the street to greet me with a big smile, and I'm thinking like, why is this guy running? It's his last 6 months on the job. You know, I'm like, Jorge, you don't have to run. But that's just how people are in streets LA. Yellen Tam took over my role from Methods and Standards when I got promoted 5 years ago to assistant director, and did it better than I did and advanced the performance stat and our metrics. And that was really amazing. And then I'm losing 2 out of my 3 direct reports. I'm losing our chief forester, Tim Tyson. And Tim really doubled the size of urban forestry and turned it into a modern, data-driven operation. And we will be implementing your vision, Tim, of the cloud-facing or cloud-oriented public-facing street tree inventory. And we will be logging every single time we touch the tree in Davy Treekeeper because of your visionary leadership. And then, you know, Sherman Torres, when I first met Sherman, he was working with Keith in resurfacing, and I learned that like the best kept secret in LA was Sherman Torres was the most powerful person in Los Angeles, because he was actually the guy who could get your street paved. Like, and the people who knew that in the council offices, you know, they could just work miracles. You had to know that it was Sherman you had to get to. And I helped promote him and brought him over to the maintenance division, and he's retiring from managing our largest division that fills potholes and does motor sweeping. We've got more than 350 staff, 25 locations in the maintenance division. It's bigger than most city departments. And Sherman, congratulations for managing that. And also wanted to give a shout out to Chi Ming Gong and Elvia Garcia, and together the 3 of us were some of the key folks in deploying My LA 311 on tablets at Streets LA, and that's something we should all be very, very proud of. So thank you, everybody, and yeah, I can't wait for the delayed real party.
Great, thank you. Let me thank you, Brad. Let me ask Brad.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much. Well, thank you for your acknowledgement and recognition, President Good, commissioners, mayor's office, and the council district. I'd like to make a shout out to some of the people that I work for me and work with me actually, and that I really enjoyed working with and learned from. A shout out to Yalene, Chairman, Ming, Veronica, Tim Tyson, Truck Ningu, Lardino Hernandez, Inder Rizam. These are the people that are leaving, most of them from my group over here. And let me just share with you that I've been in this business for over 35 years. I worked for multiple cities, and I have never been involved with such a professional and knowledgeable and dedicated group of people than the people that I have worked with here in the last 2.5 years with Street LA. So I really want to thank all of them for their contribution, for their support, and I want to congratulate them for their retirement, and I wish them all success, health, and happiness in their next endeavor. Thank you very much.
Good. Thank you, Fred. If Mr. President, I want to just acknowledge, I know there's a lot of people here, we can't name everybody, but what you see here is LA, diversity of Los Angeles, the diversity of a great city, and I'll leave you with one thing. The reason we can see better and serve people because we stand on the shoulders of giants. And each of you, it doesn't matter what role, you were a giant, and the reason the city and the bureau went forward is because of you. So I know Ming Gang's direct report to me, but I have friends, and I appreciate everything. I call him the MacGyver of Streets LA. I have to get now 4 people to Tyson, John Saponi, Elvia, life and made us better and made me a better person. When I came into Streets LA over 2 years ago, we were welcomed me into their home, and together we moved forward and upward, and I appreciate their love. I know, Inder, I want to especially thank you for your friendship. We came together to the city 32, 31 years ago, and I appreciate being and seeing you and having you part of my team at the end. We started together, and we end together.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and it's a pleasure. I can't have, each one we're gonna, there's people here that are gonna miss. I want to thank the councilmen, both council members, and also the council office. Joan, thank you for being here. I know Cecilia, thank you, and Jennifer, mayor's office, everyone. This is half of the organization that's leaving, half the 130 people leaving. We'll have another event in December. We'll celebrate. And I told them that we're going to create a nonprofit foundation, Streets LA Foundation. We're going to have you can donate to them. They'll do their own street surfacing at night. Nobody would know. They'll trim trees on the side. Nobody would know. They'll fix sidewalks at night. Nobody would know. And these guys are going to have their own organization running, nonprofit, making the city a better place. And you guys have made the city a better place by your work. And I love you, each one of you. President, and thank you for your generosity and time and allowing us to be here.
Of course, Adele, thank you. Do you want to show the video again, Adele? You muted yourself.
John, you want to say the video again?
We also let folks know that the video is also available on our website, right at the homepage. So you can share with your family and friends or anybody who missed this event right at our homepage under highlights.
Thank you, Martin.
Let me see if I can play it here. You're going to see my screen. It's okay. Let's see if I have the video.
Yeah, Joe, I've got all your emails there.
I'm gonna say, quick.
I know, you got everything here for me.
Click on the tab. There you go.
Greetings, this is Adele. Hey, I want to talk to you and say thank you for your service, for your work, for everything you've done over the last 30 plus years in serving Los Angeles, serving Streets LA. I know you're very proud of the work you've done. I am proud of the work you've done. The city is proud of the work you've done. You made LA a better place to live because of your work. You made LA a place that's safe, that's mobile, that's sustainable. All of you have helped enhance the quality of life for everyone. You've touched my life, as you've touched many other lives. So I want to thank you. Thank you for what you've done. We're going to miss your expertise, we're going to miss your knowledge, but we'll never forget your friendship. You'll always be part of us, you'll always be part of this family, and one day, soon, we'll be able to properly celebrate your careers, celebrate your friendship, and look forward to seeing you soon. So with that, I want to wish you a safe, healthy, and long retirement. Enjoy your family, enjoy your loved one. We love you and appreciate you. And I say goodbye and see you soon.
Thank you, retirees. Happy retirement.
Congratulations, all of you Streets LA folks that are retiring. We are so happy for you. We are so jealous also, but we're really, really happy for you. Thank you so much for your years of service. It was a pleasure working with all of you guys. Best wishes in your retirement. Enjoy to the fullest. Stay healthy. Keep moving. All the best. Thank you.
Congratulations, retirees, for your 30 years of service. Paving streets, fixing sidewalks, trimming trees, code enforcements, and many other tasks and duties that you perform for the city of Los Angeles. I appreciate you, and the city appreciates you for the hard work that you've done, your dedication to service and duty. Thank you. I truly appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. You're released from this institution. You get to go enjoy the rest of your life. You get to go have fun and do whatever you want to do. I'm glad for you. May you have a happy, healthy life in your retirement. Enjoy. Thank you.
Happy retirement.
This is Greg Spots in Valley Glen with our equipment operator, Sal, who's one of our 130 SIP retirees. And we both want to tell you, enjoy your retirement.
Enjoy your retirement.
Sal,
It was a great ride. I hope everybody has a great retirement.
thank you, Sal. He's got 40 years with the city at Rec and Parks and with Streets LA. And as you can see, he's a big Raiders fan. So wishing everybody a great retirement and thank you for your service.
Happy retirement, retirees.
All my colleagues and friends, let me first thank you and congratulate you for a tremendous career with the City of Los Angeles and Bureau of Street Services. I'll be joining your ranks also within a few months, so I'll be there. A fun fact, 130 people leaving Bureau, that's like 4,000 years of collective experience leaving. In any case, I wish you all happy, healthy, and prosperous future. And the important thing is lots of success in your next endeavor. Thank you.
Happy retirement.
right, folks. Well, it was just as good the second time, Adele. You know, in these bizarre times, I'm going to read to you a certificate of recognition collectively that you will all receive imminently. I am sad that I can't give it to you in person. But the City of Los Angeles, in recognition of your years of employment with the City of Los Angeles, the Board of Public Works honors each of you. Congratulations on your many years of distinguished service and achievement in public service. Your professionalism and dedication to the board and the citizens of the City of Los Angeles is to be commended. With best wishes for your future health, prosperity, and happiness, all members of the Board of Public Works. So you'll all be getting these. It was a stunning moment to sign all of those because, like that list, we just saw those thousands and thousands of years right in front of us. You are all the marrow of this city. You are the core, and I thank you. My daughter thanks you. My wife thanks you. My mother and my disabled father who needs a reliable sidewalk. They all thank you for everything that you've done. Again, you know, it's happy hour in probably at least 90% of the planet right now. Hope you all have lives of wine and roses, and congratulate you and send you all the love that we possibly can. So thank you all, Streets LA. Congratulations. And with that, Dr. Campos, is the deck cleared for the day?
Yes, it is.
All right. All of you have wonderful, safe, pull the mask down to have your libations, then put the mask back up, then pull it down for another drink, then pull the mask back up. Have safe and healthy weekends and holidays. Look at Adele.
Love it.
There's your man, ladies and gentlemen. There's your man. Like to see that. Like to know what's in that coffee cup. All right, everybody. Congratulations. Love to all of you. The meeting is now officially adjourned. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Adele.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Adele. Thank you.